Hello everyone and welcome back to another screencast. This one's on constructions. I love constructions. It's triangles and it's ASA. That may mean nothing to you now, but it will do in the future. It is really, it's creative. You need a couple of things. You'll need to have some sort of sharp pencil. Make sure you've got a sharp pencil and make sure that when it asks you to do certain things, you try and be as exact as possible, because when we do these in a test, it will be evident that you have to do it within a small margin of what we call error. What are constructions in maths? Okay, so really simply, constructions in geometry mean to draw shapes, angles, or lines accurately. And that's the real key thing. Now for this, not for this, but for constructions, we often need a protractor, a ruler, and a compass. And today, we're only going to need two of those things. We're going to need a protractor and a ruler. So get your protractors and rulers out. It's very important that you have those to do these. So let's look at what ASA means. So all it means is angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. So we've got an angle, we're given an angle, we're given a length of one side, and we're giving another angle, and we're asking to recreate that shape using that information. And it's really simple. So all we're going to need to do this is a protractor. If you haven't watched the video on how to use a protractor, please do that before you watch this one if you don't know. And we're going to need a ruler. So here we go. Let's recreate the shape. So the first thing, and I want you to do this with me, so please pause the video now, go get your stuff, come back and give it a go. First thing we are going to do though is we're going to draw this base shape here. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do, the base line. So let's get out our rulers now and line it up somewhere in the middle of your page and just draw out that first line. So from 0 through to 8. The next thing I want you to do, once you've done that, is to place your protractor over top on the left-hand side. And we're going to do this 60-degree angle here for a start. So we're going to place it there. And you can see we're starting at 0. We're going to go all the way up to 60. And you're going to see me draw a line just through here now. Now you'd need to move your protractor before you do that. So you might want to make a little mark just here, and then you can link the lines up. Now the key bit here is, don't be afraid to do a nice big long line because you don't know the other angle yet. So make sure it's not a short line. It's a nice long line so that they'll link up. And the next thing all we're going to do, we're going to take away obviously our ruler and our protractor. We're going to move it across to the other side. And we're going to do that 40-degree angle. So we're looking here at 40 degrees. You might make a mark there. And then you're going to take it away. And surprise for me, it's straight through there. Now I was a little bit lucky there. They haven't actually quite met up, but they're almost perfect. So I got away with that one. I didn't make my lines long enough. Once we do that, we take everything away and we start to label it up. So it's very important that we do label it. So I've got my 8 centimeters down there. I've got my 60 degrees here, and I've got my 40 degrees here. So it's really important that we label up our answer once we're done. It really is as simple as that. So you've got your angle, your side, your angle. That's all it means. Always start with the base. Always start with that baseline and then work through your angles. Now they do make these a little bit more difficult by putting up different sides, different information, trying to skew the shape around so it's in an odd sort of format for you. But if you always start with that baseline, then you really can't go too far wrong. So now it's really important that you give this next one a go on your own. I would like you to try and recreate that shape. Remember, start with the baseline and then go through the same process. Come back and see if you did it in the right order and you did it correctly. Okay, now, although I'm drawing these to scale using a ruler on my screen, they won't be to scale on your screen. So just bear that in mind. But the angles are correct. The angles are correct when I do these. Anyway, give it a go. Come back and see if yours looks similar to mine. Okay, so here we go. First thing we needed to do was get out our ruler and draw a 10 centimeter line across the bottom. The next thing we do is we get out that protractor and we place it on the left hand side and we mark up our 55-degree angle. And there we go, straight through. And we can see that's 55 degrees. Remember, we're starting at 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 55. Okay, now we're going to go and do the other side, and we're going to look for that 45-degree angle. So I'm going 10, 20, 30, 40, and 45, which is there. Okay, and then the line will come straight through that point. And you can see here I've been a lot better up the top. And we take away everything, we label it up as 10 centimeters on the bottom, 55 degrees on the left, and 45 degrees on the right. Now I'm just going to tidy up the top. You don't need to tidy up the top. You can leave your construction lines, and sometimes in questions they actually say make sure you leave your construction lines. So if it says leave your construction lines, make sure you do that, but I'm just going to tidy up the top here, and then we're done. And now it's time for the quiz. So now I have not drawn the shape to scale on purpose. It's relatively to scale there. The angles are kind of right, but I've done it for a reason. You'll see why when we go through the answer. So do not worry if what you're drawing does not look exactly like this. It shouldn't do. Worry if it does look exactly like this. Anyway, pause the video, give it a go, and we'll come back and see if you've got it correct. Okay, so here we go. This is what it should look something like. Remember, my angles are drawn to scale, and I've actually drawn this to scale on a piece of paper, so I know some additional information that will tell you whether or not you've done it correctly. So that additional information that you can categorically say you've done your shape right is if this length here is 9.5 centimeters and this length here is 15 centimeters, then you can say that you've done the shape correctly. Because if you draw it to scale, that's what all the lengths are. 8 centimeters on the bottom, 9.5 centimeters on this one, and 15 centimeters here. Now, in a test, you normally get to 2 millimeters. So if you got 9.3, or I'd probably even give you half a centimeter on this, just as a sort of first thing. But normally it's 2.2. So if you got 9.7 or 9.3, you're fine. If you got within 2 millimeters either way, then you're also fine through there. That just really shows you that if you don't have that sharp pencil, if you've got it slightly out, that'll be the reason why. Okay? Hopefully you've done really well. I'm sure you have. I say this every time, but I know you have. You've absolutely smashed it today. It's a quick one. I think constructions, people that struggle with maths, they often do not struggle with constructions. People that sort of find maths a bit easy sometimes can struggle with constructions. So, it's one of those things that is up and down for people. But if you stick with it, it's really, really simple. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Write that revision card. Do the best you can every day. And before you know it, you'll be an absolute ace. But as always, it's been a pleasure.